So what do you do when you're with someone who just isn't prepared to put in any effort into their relationship with themselves? So they neglect their own needs. In fact, they often probably don't even know, they're not in touch with what their needs are. So, you know, as somebody that saw clients in private practice for 16 years, this was probably the most common thing that I would hear predominantly from women, you know, and the frustration and the pain that they felt around loving their partner, wanting to be with their partner, but not feeling truly met. So many of us have been there, yeah, myself included, you know, and the dynamic looks something like this. One partner is really on that personal growth train, okay? So that means that they probably read self-help books, they go to personal development seminars, and they might have some private counseling, or, you know, urge their partner to try tantra or couples coaching or counseling. And then the other party is resistant, okay? Usually because they're afraid if they delve, they're not going to like what they see, and their partner's going to judge them as not being enough for them, okay? So what do we do about it, and is this a deal breaker? Ultimately, a relationship is made up of the sum of two parts. It takes two, okay? So if there is an imbalance, okay, with one partner investing more time, more effort into the relationship, then that is not sustainable, okay? Eventually, it may not be today, it may not be next week, but eventually they're going to get tired and say enough is enough, okay? Because their self-love will prevail, okay? And they will make a self-honouring choice. So, often it is the more feminine partner. So whether you're in a hetero relationship, a gay and lesbian relationship, it doesn't matter. We've all got feminine, masculine, okay? It is usually the more feminine of the two who is the one on that self-development train, because it's the feminine part of us that values relationship, that sees the worth in personal development, in emotional intelligence, and in understanding the human psyche so that we have a better quality of interaction. Whereas the masculine part of us, and those that are more dominant in their masculine energy, they often value financial security and things which they can touch, taste, smell, see, feel, concrete things, time to themselves. And so they often don't invest time and energy in relationships because they figure, well, I've got that already. Why would I waste time and money, on that area of my life? And then they are sort of, bereft when they find, well, my partner doesn't seem as attracted to me anymore, and they feel quietly sad about that and don't know what to do about it, and don't realize it has everything to do with the fact that they're not prepared to invest any time, effort, and energy in growing their relationship. And then eventually they end up honestly shocked when their partner has enough and leaves. So we are all organic beings. That means our relationships are organic, and they need to be nurtured if we want them to grow. So this means we need to identify and acknowledge the areas that do need growth, the areas that we're not developed in, and we need to be big enough to admit it and to then do something about it. Love is a verb. Love is an action. We can't just say, oh, I love you. We actually have to put in some effort. We have to act upon that. Otherwise, the words are empty. All right. So this is a huge step forward to acknowledge, oh, Houston, there's a problem. Because that means then we can address it, okay? So otherwise, if we don't, basically what we see is a power struggle. And this power struggle, with one being passive resistant and the other one being more and more aggressive about, we need counselling, we need to do something about this issue. And that power struggle just erodes all the good feelings. So it creates a dynamic where we see more and more the dynamic is that of parent-child rather than adult to adult, because an adult relationship is when we both take responsibility for our area of weakness and we do something about it. Whereas when we don't, we unconsciously expect the other person to pick up the slack and to parent us. And so this type of relationship, parent-child, it's inevitable that the sexual intimacy dies because, it's not very attractive to us to see the other person as a child. Yeah. And likewise, this often goes, both ways. So we either, when we have this dynamic, we stay together through thick and thin and we're miserable, okay? Or we go our separate ways. But either way, we're not addressing the problem, we're not fixing the problem. So we're destined to repeat the problem, and we might as well fix it with the one that we're with. So I hope that's a help, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Namaste.